what happens when a smartphone company just says forget limits and give maximum numbers to every spec available, such as the camera, the battery, performance, and no compromises? Well, that's exactly what the remote Oppo Find X9 Ultra looks like. And honestly, the specs sound almost too crazy to be real. We're talking about a 200 megapixel main camera, dual periscope zoom lenses for insane long distance shots, and a massive 7050 mAh class battery that could make most flagship phones look small. Under the hood, it's expected to run the next generation Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite 2 chipset, meaning serious power for gaming, AI features, and heavy multitasking. If these leaks are accurate, this phone isn't just another flagship. It might actually challenge the phones like the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra and even the iPhone 17 Pro Max in areas where they usually dominate. So here's the real question. Is this actually the ultimate camera phone of 2026 or just another overhyped spec monster? Because some of these features sound incredible on paper, but real performance is a different story. So in this video, we are breaking down every spec of the Oppo Find X9 Ultra, talking about the camera, the battery, the performance, and the one feature that could change smartphone photography completely. Well, let's get into it. Note, these details are based on leaks, so the final specs could change when Oppo officially launches this phone, but the leaks all point to one crazy idea. The Oppo Find X9 Ultra might be trying to combine three flagship phones into one. I'm talking about a camera monster, a battery beast, and top-tier performance in a single device. And if even half of this is true, it can seriously challenge phones like Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra and the iPhone 17 Pro Max. So let's break down the leak and see what makes this phone so insane. Anyways, let's talk about the design of this phone. So reports suggest the Oppo Find X9 Ultra could come with a massive 6.82-inch flat OLED display with sharp 2K resolution similar to the previous generation. But here's the interesting part. Early engineering prototypes are rumored to support an ultra-smooth 144Hz refresh rate. However, the final retail version will most likely ship with a 120Hz, which is still flagship level smooth for gaming, scrolling, and everyday use. In other words, this phone isn't just aiming to be a camera monster, it's also trying to deliver a big ultra smooth flagship display experience. Now, when it comes to performance, you see, this is where things get serious. Leaks suggest the Oppo Find X9 Ultra could run on the next generation Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 chipset, a processor expected to power many flagship phones in 2026. In simple terms, this actually means faster gaming, smoother multitasking, and stronger AI features. On the software side, this phone is expected to run ColorOS 16 on top of Android 16, bringing new customization options, smarter AI tools, and improved performance. But here's something even more interesting. Some leaks mention a special Master Kit edition that will come with 16GB of RAM and a massive 1TB of storage. Isn't that laptop's level memory on a smartphone? There may also be exclusive design elements for this version, although the leaks don't reveal exactly what those changes might look like yet. But the truth is, if Oppo keeps the terminals under control, this could be one of the top Android performers of 2026. Anyways, let's talk about the camera system, because this real Oppo Find X9 Ultra starts sounding absolutely insane. The main camera is rumored to use a 200 megapixel Sony LYTIA sensor with optical image stabilization and a massive 1.12-inch sensor size. In simple terms, that means more light, sharper detail, and better photos in low light. But that's just the beginning. The phones are expected to include a 50 megapixel ultra-wide camera using Samsung ISOCELL GM5, designed to capture wider scenes while keeping strong detail across the frame. Things get even crazier. You see, leaks says this phone could feature two separate periscope zoom cameras. The first is a 200 megapixel telephoto lens with 3x optical zoom, powered by the OmniVision OV5 2A sensor. The second is a 50 megapixel periscope camera with 10x optical zoom, which would allow to capture faraway subjects with surprising clarity. There's even mention of a special Danzia color restoration lens designed to improve color accuracy and natural tones in photos. And if you like taking selfies, the front camera isn't holding back either. The phone is expected to feature a 50 megapixel autofocus selfie camera, meaning sharper selfies and better video quality. So if these leaks turn out to be accurate, the Find X9 Ultra might not just be another flagship phone, but one of the most advanced smartphone camera systems we've ever seen. And that shouldn't be surprising because the Oppo Find X9 already showed impressive camera performance in my previous video I made last year. So the Oppo Find X9 Ultra, there's a strong chance Oppo could push the camera quality even further on this phone. Anyways, let's talk about the battery. The battery on the Oppo Find X9 Ultra could be just as crazy as the cameras. Leaks suggest a 7050 mAh battery, slightly smaller than the Pro version, but still much bigger than the 6100 mAh battery in the Oppo Find X8 Ultra. And charging won't be slow either. I'm talking about 80 watts wired and 50 watts wireless charging. I expected. In simple terms, this means longer battery life and very fast top-ups when you need power quickly. Anyways, let's talk about the release date of the Oppo Find X9 Ultra. Leaks suggest a global debut around early 2026, with China getting it early as late March and the rest of the world following shortly after. If true, this would make it the first Find X series Ultra to launch worldwide, meaning fans everywhere could finally get their hands on it. Some reports even hint at an April 2026 release in selected markets, so it won't be long before we see this beast in action. So the big question at the moment now is, who is this phone for? Well, after everything we've seen, someone who should actually be looking at the Find X9 Ultra, well, it should be photographers and content creators. If you're shooting tons of photos or videos for Instagram, TikTok or YouTube Shorts, the camera setup here is basically crazy flexible. You can go ultra wide, zoom insanely far, or no light shots like a pro. They're not usually actually gamers and power users. If you hate lags, you love high graphics, you can actually keep 10 plus apps open at once. Well, the Samsung Galaxy S26 Gen 5 chipset plus 16GB of RAM combo means this phone is built to handle everything without breaking a sweat. People from Nigeria rate charging constantly. You see, with a 7000 mAh battery and super fast 80 watts wired and 50 watts wireless charging, you can finally stop carrying a power bank everywhere. The truth is that despite all these things about this phone might not be for everyone. I mean, if you don't care about cameras and just want a cheap phone, then buying the Find X9 Ultra is just an overkill. It's not something you should get. And if you like compact phones, beware. This one is actually big, it's heavy and built like a flagship beast. So honestly, this phone is for people who actually want power performance and insane cameras all in one package. Like the kind of users who don't settle for average smartphone. Now, I want to hear from you. If all these specs are true, would you pick the Oppo Find X9 Ultra over the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra or the next iPhone Pro Max? Tell me in the comments below and why. And please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.